Oh, hey. Hey, sorry, I didn't see you there again. Yeah, sorry, I've just been playing a little bit of Raymond. $10. $10 from Dick Smith, can you believe that? Anyway, I don't really have anything to be talking about to start with other than the apology for the long time between videos again. I suppose we'll just crack straight on with the game.
And here's where we left off last time. Now, to summarise where things are, we had some rather ineffective attacking going on up in the northern section of the board by the heroes, and we had some rather ineffective attacking in the southern side of the board by me, and the barbarian has remained standing. So we'll move on as we normally do with Elroyce to start out. Elroyce is rather keen to get back in and dispatch that Famir, so he's going to move back through the doorway into contact with the Famir, and he's going to have a swing. So we'll move up. And remember that elves attack with 2 combat dice, so we'll see how he goes there. And he's managed to land a skull there, so now the Famir is going to get a chance to defend itself. Now Famir defend with 3 dice, so we'll roll those now. And the Famir does not defend the hit and dies. So another nasty enemy dispatched by the heroes. That ends Elroyce's turn, so we'll move on with Lothario. Now Lothario did want to attack the Famir as well. Of course, now that it's dead, she's just going to turn and have a swing at the goblin that's standing next to her. So she'll do that now. Remembering dwarves, of course, attack with 2 combat dice as well. And again, the dwarf completely misses. So that is about all she's going to do. She could move away, but she's pretty happy standing with the goblin and trying to dispatch it next turn. Alright, so we'll move on to the barbarian and the wizard. As we remember, Wilhelm managed to survive last turn by the barest of margins. He's still standing in the pit, of course. He's going to have a swing at the eastern skeleton as he moves away. He's going to move up through the doors to stand out in the corridor next to Barabel, where he will hopefully be healed. So he's going to have an attack first. Now remember, he normally attacks with 3 dice, but because he's in the pit, he suffers a 1 dice penalty, so he's only rolling 2. And he manages to solidly hit that skeleton. It'll try to defend itself now. Skeletons roll 2 dice in defense, so... And the skeleton does not manage to defend itself, so it also is killed. And now Wilhelm is going to move, so he can move 7. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the door, blocking the door from any further skeletons coming out into the corridor. And that is the end of Wilhelm's turn. Now Barabel has seen that Wilhelm is very much not in a good way, so he's going to move onto the opposite side of Wilhelm, giving himself a little bit of a meat shield, I suppose you could say, because Wilhelm can definitely take more hits than Barabel can. And then he's going to cast the heal spell on him, so he'll move there now. Now the wizard's healing spell is called Water of Healing. This spell may be cast on any one player. It will restore up to 4 body points that have been lost. The spell is then discarded. So Barabel casts the spell upon Wilhelm. Wilhelm restores 4 lost body points, bringing him up to 5. That is the end of the player's turns. Now it is the evil wizard's turn. The goblin's not too happy having its Famir captain be slaughtered in front of it, so he's going to have a stab at the dwarf, remembering of course the dwarf still has stone skin. So we'll roll the dice. Goblins attack with 2 dice. And a double hit there on the dwarf. So we'll see how Lothario manages to defend herself with her extra defense dice. So with 2 skulls to defend, Lothario rolls 4 dice in defense with her stone skin, or rock skin. And she manages to defend 1 of those hits. So she does still take 1 point of damage, and because she's taken damage, the spell that was on her is now been dismissed, so she no longer has that bonus to her defense. One thing I did neglect to mention before, now that Barabel's moved to that corner, he can actually see all the way down the hallway there, but he can't see anything in that hallway. It's just a long, continuous hallway running to the south. Alright, so now the skeletons are going to have their moves. We'll have The one in the corridor will move up and have a swing at Wilhelm, and one of the other ones in the other room will also move up. Skeletons have a movement of 6 squares, so they can just get there. Alright, so we'll move them up now. Alright, now attacking with 2 dice. We'll start with the skeleton in the east. And 2 skulls there on that hit. And now we will try the one in the south. And the bad news continues for Wilhelm with now 4 skulls that he has to defend. Alright, so we'll see how he goes with that. Remembering that he's now out of the pit, so the barbarian's defend goes back up to 2 combat dice. So we'll start out with his defense of the hit from the skeleton in the east. Manages to defend one of those, so he only takes 1 point of damage from that skeleton. And the one in the south, I will pick up that dice in a moment. One in the south, he does not manage to defend either of those hits. So 3 points of damage to Wilhelm. Luckily that healing has saved him. He's now back down to 2. And that concludes this turn. So the bloodshed continues on this turn. Bit of damage there on both sides again. Unfortunately, yet again, still no players down yet, but we'll get there. Thank you again for watching Tortuga, and I look forward to joining you for turn 9.